Greetings, programs. This is Wretch. Welcome back to Crying Suns. And I'm really glad you guys enjoyed the first episode of the series. I know I did. And now the Odysseus has arrived at the Omicron Carnasia system, I think it's called, and the crew know their mission. They need to figure out what's happened with the fold net, why it's shut down, and most importantly, what's happening with the Omnis and why they are shut down. Because the Omnis have become so critical to the overall survival of the Empire and humanity in general that them being shut down could put the fate of the entire human race at stake. So, no pressure. Now, before we scavenge any of the Neo-In fuel, we're going to go here to upgrades, and we're going to spend some of our scrap to actually upgrade our ship. The first thing that I normally do during a run is I throw scrap into fuel scavenging efficiency. What this is going to do is this is going to pay for itself very quickly because it's only cost about 85 scrap. And what it'll do, we now have additional fuel that we can scavenge. So there we go. Instead of getting one, we have two. And it pays for itself almost instantly, which is great. We still have 154 scrap. Now, before we go ahead and spend this, though, I want to go ahead and see what we've got here. We've got a mercenary outpost as well as an anomaly and an ejected cryopod here at Ep.2. So let's travel there first. A key battleship, sir, and badly damaged. I'm picking up a faint distress signal from inside the battleship.
Want to send us in, sir? Honestly, it'd be nice to see a little action.
Let's attempt to make contact with the ship first. Get me in touch with the ship, Lieutenant. Sorry, sir. No one's responding. Ship looks to be abandoned.
Want to send us in, sir?
Lean, put a team together and find that signal.
Of course, sir. Watcher 6's troops, we're heading in.
I don't know why I wanted him to sound like a clone trooper.
Sir, we're in. Our trackers are telling us we're close to the signal, but we hit a snag. Corridor collapse, sir. Blocking us. Unless we have a way of clearing a path through this rubble, I'm afraid the search ends here.
Now, this is a situation that normally we couldn't do anything about, but we do have a specialist in engineering, so we can go ahead and actually continue on with this. You know the situation, Lieutenant. Lean can't advance unless we somehow clear a path for him. I see. Well, I should be able to remotely command a drilling drill. It won't be the biggest of passageways, but it should allow the team, most of the team, to continue forward.
It's done, sir. Thanks to the pencil pusher, we've made our way deeper into the ship. Signal's coming from the brig. There's a prisoner here. He's in a bad way. Got his hands on a dead guard's comm device and was using it to send the signal. Says the Aki ship got crushed battling pirates. Also says he's a senator, and if we deliver him safely to his planet, we can expect a big fat reward. Downside is, he's stuck in one of those damn Aki hypercells. Gonna require some time and resources to bust him out. Your call, sir.
And we've got the scrap for it. So let's go ahead and bust the senator out of the brig. Free the man, Lean. We're taking the senator home.
Right away, sir.
Thank you, Admiral. It feels nice to be out of that cage. Like I told your man, if you can deliver me safely to my home planet in the next sector over, mark my words, you will be handsomely rewarded. So now we have a quest, so when we go over to the next sector, there's going to be a system that we need to head to go ahead and turn in this quest, so that's nice. Hopefully it'll pay off some dividends. And we've got another ejected cryopod, so let's go ahead and see what we got to prepare a mission. No major threats. Okay. So this is another officer, which is interesting. Now, because of the ground distress signal, we'll have one chance to retreat if things get hairy. Otherwise, we just kind of have to deal with it. And I already told you guys about this, so we'll just skip by it. So, with Martina here, we'll extract between 53 and 99% of the resources and just only lose 0 to 2 commandos, so I consider that acceptable. Right through that ship. Oh, right to the cryopod. Ugh. Alright. So we did not have the skill needed to get the stuff out of the cryopod. Now the good news is we still have a chance of collecting a lot of resources, so... Looks like we can fight our way out of a lot of situations. That's a lot of death dealing. Got ourselves 3 fuel. Awesome. The more fuel we have, the more places we can explore. The more breathing room we have. Alright, and Taj is our first casualty. Getting a lot of resources, though. And there's the extraction point. I guess it's fortunate because our next stop is going to be a mercenary base. Or an outpost, rather.
Civilian wreckage, sir. Looks like it collided head-on with something in an interstitial tunnel.
Survivors?
Unlikely, sir. Not at the speed they were traveling. There might be a small amount of scrap available for the taking in the crash, if it didn't disintegrate.
Sure, why not? Captain, get us that scrap, if there is any. As upsetting as the situation is, we need as much scrap as we can get. Putting my men and women on it at once, Admiral. I need to get voices knocked down for all these characters, so just bear with me there. Team's bringing the scrap back now, Admiral. Not a bad little metal haul, if I do say so myself. Sure, why not? They're Southerners in space. 291. I like it. So now we go ahead and visit the shop. You can see the space station right here. So, we can buy more fuel. I always recommend that. Commandos. We're just going to buy 1 to make up for the one that we lost. That costs 10 scrap. We can grab some more officers, which is cool. I also want to point out this guy, Julian Suzuki. You notice he has a brain next to his portrait. What that means is that he doesn't actually have anything to benefit the ships in combat, but he evens that out by having an additional skill that could be used in situations. So, something to take into consideration if you need it. We also have some additional weapons. Core Blaster Mark II can only target allied units. Destroy 1 allied unit on target cell and deal 25 plus 50% of its current health as damages to all adjacent units. So that actually turns a friendly unit essentially into a bomb. And then we have Piercer Laser Mark II, which I believe we already have, but we can double up on our violence, which is pretty cool. So let's go ahead and check our upgrades. Additional hull structure would be nice. An additional weapon dock, though, is just 70. So that's fairly cheap. So now that we got that, we're going to go ahead and buy that laser. So we have a Mark 1 and Mark II laser. Now the problem, actually there's no problem with it. It does more damage and it has actually a slightly better delay before firing. So that's pretty cool. Also, while I think about it, let's go ahead and equip Martina here in the fighter base. And now we have 100. We don't want to buy anything else unless we want to stock up on fuel. But let's go for hull integrity support. The most expensive one is additional squadron docks, because the more fighters you have, the better off you are. But I think we're going to spend some in squadron dock recovery and actually make them heal faster. Alright. So with that done, we're also going to upgrade our navigation scanner, and that'll allow us to see what's farther away on the sector, or systems farther away on the sector map, what exactly they have. That gives us 31. Now, another thing that we can do, also very important, we can sell things. So if there's anything that we do not like, we can even like sell officers, squadrons, all kinds of really cool stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and sell this drone Mark 1 for 25. And that gives us a little bit more breathing room to upgrade something else, but I think we're going to save our scrap for now. So that's everything in this system. Let's go to the star map. So every time we jump, the current sector's rulers get a little bit more suspicious, and in the case that we learned in the last episode, that would be the Scrappers and Mother. Once you alert counter reaches 0, they will follow your tracks and try and find you. Being caught will result in a very difficult and unprofitable encounter. Hint, hint. So the next time that we move, this is going to expand to these systems. So we're always on the run. Very, very Battlestar Galactica. Now we're going to head over here to the Zeta Marfax system, because that leads to Nunkib, and there is an omniforge there, and I want to show you guys what that actually is. And we've got 3 anomalies like right here, so we're gonna roll those dice. Scrap a battleship, sir. Incoming transmission.
Shiny ship you have. Think I'll scrap it when you're dead.
And we got a fight going. Now, as I said, the kid gloves are a little bit off. All enemies you encounter have specialties depending on their faction. Check the description of their core system for information on their specific battleship technology. So the core systems for the Scrappers, all of their fighters are always going to be patched. But whenever acquired a new squadron, it becomes patched and you get like additional scrap out of it, which is kind of cool if we unlock it. Now you notice that there's stuff here on the battle map. We've got asteroids. If a ship moves through, or a squadron moves through an asteroid, it's minus 50%, and it'll absorb all damage dealt until it's destroyed. So it provides a little bit of cover at the cost of speed. And then we've got EMP towers, and they're randomly just going to zap everything around them and disable. So we need to kind of stay away from those if at all possible. So they've got drones. Okay, they've got boomers. Now the boomer drones are nasty because when they die, they deal damage to all adjacent units. They're essentially bombs. Once they're destroyed, they inflict damage one way or the other. So good stuff there. Actually, horrible things for us. But we're going to go ahead and equip both of our fighters. And our guns are going to be charging up. There's no weapons here, fortunately. And there you can see the EMP towers. Now, I am going to send one of the fighters to take out the boomer drone. And I'm going to send the other fighter to attack the squadron bay. So there you go. The boomer blew up and actually destroyed one of the EMP towers and also did some damage to our fighter. Okay, and now they just very quickly summon. That's the thing about Scrappers. They can summon fighters very quickly. So there's a fire squadron. I'm going to go ahead and have him intercept. Their squadron bay is done. And we destroyed it, and we got a Cruiser Mark I prototype. And that was one of the anomalies. I love the animations when the ship blows up, too. Ah. Struck out, only got 1 fuel. You'll always get at least 1 per one of these hypercubes. So remember to take that into account. We've got another ground mission, an abandoned auto factory. And passing through some magnetic interference, sir. Buckle up. Could get bumpy. Hey, got chief for you. Sir, got a situation down here. There's an isolated fire in C9. The storm must be to blame. C9? That's a primary squadron hangar, sir. We can put it out using Neo-In foam. Or we can let it burn, knowing it won't spread to other sections of the ship, but suffering squadron damage in the process. Your call, sir, but either way, we're looking at some losses here. So, this is one of the bad ones. We can either use fuel to extinguish the foam, or let the fire burn out and actually suffer some damage to the squadrons. I prefer not to have any damage to the squadrons because I know until the end of this sector, there are no other places we can repair. So this is going to hurt, but let's put it out with the foam. The sector being what it is, we can't risk going into battle at a disadvantage. Of course, sir. We put out the fire, but we used a lot of Neo-In to do it. It's just one of those things, sir. I like the fact that our engineer is like Ripley. Okay, let's go ahead and prepare a mission. Try and get the taste of this out of our mouths. $73 and 100%, but we can lose anywhere from 0 to 10 commandos, and the officer has a chance of being injured as well. This one, we can get 59, so there's not really a good option here. We can risk our officer dying. Now, our officer, however, has 6 health, so maybe, just maybe, we can be in good shape. So I'm going to go ahead and take a risk here and launch the expedition. No risk it, no biscuit. Yeah. Okay. Unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Ooh. Yeah, might as well. I mean, we haven't got anything yet. Okay, there's some resources. That's nice. I appreciate that. Here's the abandoned auto factory. 74 scrap. Cool. It's only going to cost us most of our troops. Oh, we struck out. We lost 7 troops, and Martina is weakened, and we didn't get any of our stuff. So that was about as negative as a result as you can get, unfortunately. So let's head to the next one. Scrap a battleship. Destroyed ships distracts me from my painful mutations. Okay, so we're not going to get any help from Martina, unfortunately, because she is weakened. However, looks like we're in pretty good shape. We've got an anti-battleship artillery. Now, what we can do is we can send one of our squadrons over here and actually capture the thing. You see these flags? That means that as long as we stay adjacent, we can capture it. Once we capture it, this battery is going to attack the battleship. This is really cool. There's a lot of different variation in here. Also, we've got a cruiser. What the cruiser can do is it's essentially a glass cannon. It takes more damage at short range, but as long as you have something like getting in the way, it can shoot like over the course of 2 hexes. So it's kind of like an artillery, for lack of a better term. So let's do this. I'm going to use a drone to go ahead and try and capture this, and I'm going to send the fighter to intercept that drone. So right there, and then the fighter. Now the drone, now the enemy can, see, they're going to try and capture it now too. And they got there first, but fortunately, we're going to make them go boom. Alright. 5 seconds. And I just used one of our cannons to destroy that squadron that just showed up. And we got a frigate Mark 1 Magneto. Good name. Good name. Alright, that is everything in this system. Unfortunately, we struck out bad with the Zoth 6 factory, but sometimes you have to make those decisions. Now we'll head to Nunkib. Now, one thing to notice here, we only have 2 fuel. The important thing is just having enough fuel for 1 jump to the final part of the sector. Incoming transmission! Visit our little station. It'll be worth your time. I promise. Well, that was strange. Now, obviously, that does not seem to be something that we would want to do, right? So, we could send commandos to visit the station, but that would literally be almost all the commandos that we have left. I'm going to attempt to contact the station again. Get me back in touch with the station, Ozu. Of course, sir. Sorry, sir. No luck. The station's no longer responding. We want to talk to that man. We'll have to do it in person. What do you want to do about this station, Admiral? We are going to continue on. I don't like this. He seems a little too eager for us to visit. We push on. Pushing on, are you? Ah, that's too bad. I've actually never landed... That may be a good thing. I'm not sure. I don't know. That big hole in the hull kind of says otherwise. Okay, big bucks, no whammies. Ooh. Alright. I'll take it. I'll take that too. Church battleship, sir. Thank Oberon, an Imperial ship. You were only a child. I am. Everyone on this ship is, Admiral. Now, the church they are essentially a army of religious zealots. A ship full of children, I don't understand. We are the children of the Doria Sit 4, a planet in a church cluster. Unlike most people on our planet, we do not worship the Omnis as gods, and for this we've been persecuted. So we stole a ship and left, studying all battleship books in our libraries beforehand. Still, it was a bumpy ride. I won't deny it. Please help us, Admiral. We're only children. How can we help? We're being pursued by other church ships. They know about us now. You could help us by bringing us aboard, Admiral, by defending and transporting us to a planet where we will be free to think and act as we wish. We know of such a planet not far away. We could put it on your star map. We have scrap. We'd be happy to pay you for the ride. We're begging you, help us. We're only children. So, here is the thing. I actually know what happens here. And it is kind of, if any of you guys are thinking, oh, this doesn't sound, got a bad feeling about this, this is accurate. because the children are essentially, for all intents and purposes, suicide bombers. And they're going to do a lot of damage to the ship. So what we're going to do is we are not going to give the children a ride to a new planet. The condition not satisfied would be like a psychologist or a diplomat would talk to them and realize what their true intentions are. I'm sorry, but the NS Odysseus can't give you a ride at this time.
Oh, really? I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting that at all. I guess there's no reason to go on with this little charade then. We're not the sweet children we claim to be, Admiral. We wanted to get on that battleship to hurt you. But since we can't do that, we'll just have to do the next best thing. Destroy you in battle. Death to all Imperial pigs. Praise the Omni Gods.
Yeah, that's disturbing. Now, church battleships are a little bit nastier than what we've been running into. These guys do have weapons. Church battleships usually focus primarily on heavy-duty weaponry and light squadrons. So they actually do have officers that can do different things. Check this out. Deal 2 DPS to enemies adjacent to your battleship system cells. And we also have cooldown. If fully charged, spawns 1 crafted drone on any non-crafted squadron death. So if we destroy a squadron, it's going to come back as like a drone. And they are summoning a frigate. So we need to go ahead and, unfortunately, we only have the 1 drone. By the way, the Magneto, all enemy units able to target this unit are forced to do so, and all adjacent enemies cannot move. So this is kind of like a tank for all intents and purposes. Actually, would be a prime time to show you guys. If they're going to tank, then we'll do that. Now, the weapons they have on board are a matter destabilizer. It applies decay for 18. It's basically a damage over time. And then a hull breaker laser, which deals no hit to battleship systems, but does do quite a bit of damage. So this will be interesting to see. Now we're going to try to intercept this frigate. Yeah, you see what I mean? Trying to... Okay, there we go. And we're going to focus on weapons. Good deal. And we're going to send our cruiser... Oh, we actually overheated their weapons. That's good. We're going to send our cruiser to sit there and plink them from afar. There we go. Fighter Mark I Wraith. We're getting a lot of firepower.
Not all your children are like that, are they?
Ugh. It's a dark world. It's some dark sci-fi. So now we shall head to the omniforge.
I'm picking up a pre-shutdown ad on this beacon, sir.
Automated Church of the Singularity. So that is the full name for church.
Some people enslave the Omnis while some worship them as gods.
When it's all said and done, who do you think will enter the garden? So the omniforge is a very interesting piece of tech. We can't really use it right now, but check this out. Just wanted to show you this because it's cool. So what we do with the omniforge is we can actually send our fighters into the forge and then spend fuel to upgrade it to the next level. So a Mark I would become a Mark II, 2, 3, and so forth. It's 1 fuel for the first upgrade, 2 for the second, and so on. And most forges only have a certain amount of upgrades available. So we, unfortunately, by messing up with that ground mission, we're not going to be able to actually use the forge, really. because I want to save that extra bit of fuel for later on. So, all we can do is just sit, wave to it, and say goodbye. And now, we're going to head to the next location, and you can see that skull, which means we're about to meet someone very interesting.
Sir, scrap a battleship. Looks like one of Mother's sector cronies. Incoming transmission! A Telos battleship in my sector. Think you took a wrong turn somewhere, Admiral? Not that I'm complaining.
Where is she? Where is Mother?
You think I'm gonna tell you just because your ship's all shiny and appetizing? That's my mom we're talking about.
Okay. And a few words. So, this is our first boss fight. So, we got no officers right now, but we've got a lot of fighters. And right now, they are at Mark 2, so they are technically nastier than anything else that we have. There's no weapons, so they're just going to try and swarm us to death, essentially. So, let's go ahead and keep that frigate, the Magneto frigate, and we will take... Oh yeah, we also have a Wraith fighter. That basically has a stealth mode that we can do a ton of damage if we want to on it. So let's do that, and we'll have the Magneto frigate just sit there and play tank. And then we're going to let this thing go into stealth mode, and it becomes essentially invincible at that point. Alright. Let's go ahead and focus on the squadron bay. And don't worry, we are going to... Oh. We've got 12 seconds on that. That's okay. We got our weapons here. Good to go. Yeah. And you see they actually intercrossed. I was able to shoot one section with our guns and take out both of them. That's pretty cool. Okay, so what just happened is we were able to knock this ship down by one of its health bars. There's an explosion that knocks all fighters near it back away and kind of stuns them for a little bit, but then we now have to fight our way through another health bar. Also, now would be a good time to go ahead and get a new frigate deployed. And we're going to send that right back out. Still attacking the squadron bay. And that these fighters here just discovered, oh crap, our ship's about to die. A little too late now, though. And I'm going to have them finish off these fighters and continue to lay the hate down. Alright. The boomer exploded, did some more damage to our frigate, but we're in good shape. I'm actually going to send it back to the base to relax, because we're in good shape, and we got 484 scrap out of that. At the cost of one wrecked frigate. I'll take it. Sector 2 out of 2. Or 2 out of 3, excuse me. I know how to read, I promise, I swear. Alright guys, and we are in a brand new sector of space, and I think it's a perfect place to go ahead and end the episode. So I'm hoping you guys are kind of understanding how the game works and how combat is. It gets a little bit more intricate as we move on, but that's pretty much the meat and potatoes of it. So now we're going to rest and resupply and get ready for the next sector. Hope you all have enjoyed it. If you liked the episode, please leave a like down below. Subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, that'd be a big help. And we'll see you next time. Later days, everyone.